5 years later, the death of St. Catharines teen Samantha Lambert remains unsolved. Hello, I'm Jaynicoll of Nicoll Investigations and the host of Ontario Cold Cases, the podcast. Season 2, Episode 22, on the murder of Samantha Lambert. More than 5 years ago, Samantha Lambert's body was discovered in a ditch at the side of a road in Welland. Was Samantha Lambert a victim of human sex trafficking? 19-year-old Samantha was reported missing September 4th, 2018, and was found dead on February 17th, 2019, in a ditch near Moyer and Schlissler Roads outside Cook's Mill, Welland. Samantha's remains were identified February 26, 2019, following a post-mortem exam in Toronto on February 21st. The circumstances surrounding her death are still under investigation. Police believe Samantha may have been a victim of human sex trafficking. Samantha's mother, Yvonne, described her daughter as a joy for everybody to be around, with a good heart who was genuinely caring and helpful person. Described as someone who lit up the room, who was well loved by friends and family, Samantha enjoyed every aspect of life, said Yvonne, from family to helping strangers, and volunteering at a food bank in St. Catharines. She believes her daughter was a victim of human sex trafficking, a growing problem in Niagara and Canada, which the NRP has devoted great resources to combating. Yvonne said prior to Samantha's disappearance, she started displaying characteristics of someone being groomed for trafficking, including changes in behavior and hanging around a different crowd, largely consisting of older men. She was never allowed to come and see me without them there, she said. Samantha told her mom they worked as speedy drivers, an unofficial, inexpensive taxi service. Yvonne said during that time, Samantha's behavior changed dramatically. Things just went from bad to worse. It became apparent she was addicted to drugs, heroin specifically, she said. According to Yvonne, Samantha had been missing for 5.5 months, and Samantha had been advertised on a sex site. Samantha was believed to have been held at different hotels in Niagara Falls. It just went crazy, and within 6 months she was gone. Reports say Samantha was found half naked, wrapped in a carpet, murdered via hot shot, which is a syringe injection filled with battery acid. Detective Sergeant Tara Ryan, who oversees the Niagara Regional Police's Human Trafficking Unit, said there are several signs to be aware of for people concerned of loved ones being groomed for human trafficking. Signs someone you know is in trouble. Withdrawing from friends and family, and or being secretive about a new friend or boyfriend. Frequent absences from the home, work, and or school. Having unexplained gifts or expensive items, and or sudden changes in appearance, like clothing, accessories, makeup, or nails. Giving scripted or canned answers to casual questions. Showing fear and intimidation through facial expressions or body language. For example, not making eye contact, acting on edge, or being afraid. Tattoo of the trafficker's name or symbol. Not having any money, even if they say they were working consistently. Not having possession of their identification documents. Visible signs of abuse, like cuts, bruises, burns, or fatigue. Intoxication or substance abuse. Yvonne said the last time she saw her daughter alive was just before she disappeared. Samantha was accompanied by a couple of men who did not enter her home, said Yvonne. This episode is brought to you by Nicoll Investigations, the uphill battle against modern-day slavery. It's a crime that can lock victims into a seemingly endless cycle of physical, sexual, and psychological abuse. These human trafficking units deal with it every day. Victims are often afraid of police and dependent on predators who manipulate them into a dead-end world of prostitution and drug abuse. The problem is traffickers are very skilled at targeting vulnerable people, recognizing their weaknesses, and exploiting them. Although the victim is involved in this dangerous lifestyle and deep down may want out, they've been procured and groomed for this. Trafficker is providing something missing in their life. It can be emotional, it can be physical. They identify it and try to fill it, so the victim becomes dependent. Sometimes it's substance abuse or homelessness, and they exploit it. Traffickers isolate their victims by changing phone numbers, taking away bank cards, cutting them off from family and friends, moving them from one location to another, without any means to find their way home. Niagara is one of the top 5 communities, second per capita, in Canada for reported human trafficking incidents, according to statistics from the YWCA in Niagara. It cites numerous factors beginning with, "We sell sex very well, Lundy's Lane Strip." Others include access to hotels and motels, the U.S. border, and the Highway 401 corridor, as well as the need for migrant farm workers, another form of human trafficking. Victims can come from anywhere, sometimes as a broken home. Maybe no one has ever bought them things or taken them anywhere. Perhaps they've never been told someone loves them. Predator is adept at sensing this. They start with something minor, like being asked to have sex with one of his buddies at a party. Push the boundaries, and then push them further each time. Statistics show people most likely to be at risk include Indigenous women and girls, migrants and new immigrants, LGBTQ persons, individuals living with disabilities, children in the child welfare system, at-risk youth, people who are socially or economically disadvantaged. Some investigations begin when officers search for online sites that sell sex, identify certain advertisements, and then arrange to meet the victims. We will try to help them by providing services and the option of getting out of the trade with a safe place to go, a police spokesperson said. Sometimes they want out and provide us with information that can further an investigation where we lay criminal charges. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes a few months down the road, they'll call us back. Priority is protecting them and offering them ways to get out of the lane if they don't want to be involved. Traffickers know how investigations work. They move their victims from community to community, staying one step ahead of police. They also coach victims on what to say. Changes in behavior, physical appearance, belongings, and relationships with family and friends can be signs that someone might be a victim of human trafficking. Signs to watch for include behavior and activities such as are repeatedly missing from home and or have been frequently reported missing to police, are being secretive about their activities, begin staying out more often and later, are absent from school, there is a decline in school performance, use newer increased methods of transportation such as taxis, ride-hailing, or sharing applications, are not allowed to speak for themselves and their activities are controlled by someone else, seem fearful, anxious, depressed, submissive, tense, nervous, or paranoid. They may avoid eye contact or seem fearful around police. Move frequently, may not know their surroundings well. Repaying a large debt through labor or sex, including sexual imagery or filming. Are unpaid or paid very little to work and seem to be treated poorly. Long or unusual hours, not allowed breaks, or forced to live in poor conditions. Relationships with family or friends, such as are withdrawing or isolating from family and friends. Have a new boyfriend, girlfriend, or family they won't introduce to friends and family. Suddenly spend time with an older person or people. Physical appearance and belongings. They begin wearing more sexualized clothing, have new clothing and jewelry that they can't afford to buy. They show signs of physical abuse, such as bruising, cigarette burns, or fractures. Tattooing or branding symbols, particularly names. Suddenly have a new or second cell phone with a secret number. Don't have their belongings or money and don't control their own passport or other documents. Seem malnourished or lack medical care. Youth are more susceptible and social media has rendered them soft prey. Kids are easily manipulated and controlled. They're definitely targeted. In this day and age, it plays out in all kinds of areas where youth are hanging out. Predators of unprecedented reach to access victims, whether that is a local school or community center, shopping mall, or online. Up next, talk of sex trafficking farms in Niagara. This episode is brought to you by Nicoll Investigations. Talk of sex trafficking farms in Niagara, but no confirmation. From the WYCA Niagara. There's talk in the community of farms in Niagara being used for sex trafficking. Niagara police launched a trafficking investigation to a rural property in St. Catharines. While People were arrested. Trafficking charges were not laid. There's been talk of women coming forward to organizations for help. Stories of trafficking farms in the region, however, they are too afraid to go to police. Elizabeth Zimmerman, the YWCA Niagara Region's executive director, says sex trafficking is a major issue in Niagara, and they encourage victims to seek help. Niagara Regional Police say they were aware of the farm allegations. Crystal Snyder leads Collaborative Community Solutions, an anti-human trafficking training and consulting firm, said since that investigation went public, women have been coming to her organization, bringing to light their experiences at farms across Niagara. There's rumors in the community that there are human trafficking farms. We are aware of the rumors in the community. We can't build criminal investigations solely on rumors, said a police spokesperson. Important people to come forward with information so we can act on it, conduct a lawful investigation, and so it can stand the test of the prosecution process, he said. Snyder said she is a survivor of human sex trafficking, said the geography and features of Niagara contribute to the problem. There are canals and lakes, large stretches of rural farmland, 400 series highways, and the Canada-US border, she said. It's different geographically than other communities, she said. Jane Lavaca, Westview Center for Women Executive Director, said when working to keep safe the women her St. Catharines organization serves, getting them to speak to police is impossible. Can't remember how many times the victims of trafficking tell me something, and I'd say, what can I do to help? Can I call the police? And they say no, because they're scared. Lavaca said many are told by human traffickers that if they speak, they will be hurt, killed, or their loved ones will be at risk. Niagara Region is seeing a rise in the number of human trafficking charges laid, according to local police data. The service says its human trafficking unit started an investigation in March and identified the accused, 56-year-old woman known as Candy. The woman was arrested in early May 2024 and is facing charges for trafficking persons by recruiting, procuring, material benefit from sexual services, financial material benefit from trafficking person over 18 years, advertising another person's sexual service. The incident is among a growing number of human trafficking charges and comes amid calls for more action to stop traffickers. Another recent case. 13 men being arrested in Niagara Falls, Ontario hotel, charged connection with human trafficking of young people, police say. Suspects who range in age from 20 to 60 face charges related to child luring, obtaining sexual services, and inviting sexual exploitation of a young person. The arrest took place between January 31st and February 3rd, 2024, come after the Niagara Regional Police Services Human Trafficking Unit connected online with young people believed to be offering sexual services for money. The men who were arrested are mostly from the Niagara region. One is from Windsor, Ontario, and others from Buffalo, New York, police say. Their names weren't published due to court-ordered publication bans. Just 1 in 10 completed human trafficking cases across Canada resulted in a finding of guilt. Up next, suspects and rumors. This episode is brought to you by Nicoll Investigations. There are many rumors of these farms and individuals in the area where Samantha was found. Many seem to be substantiated by various criminal charges, though few convictions. The lack of convictions is an entirely different set of rumors. The YWCA has heard from survivors of human trafficking who are at rural properties in Niagara. If you or someone you know is being trafficked, call Canada's National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-833-900-1010. There is a follow-up episode and more of these rumors that I would very much like to do. I've received information from some people regarding Samantha's case. I'd like to thank all of you. However, I feel a more in-depth follow-up episode is needed. For this, I would like to request more people contact me to help. All of our discussions, whether by phone, email, messages, or in person, will be in the strictest confidentiality. So please help get more of this information out to help Samantha and all the other people in desperate need of help. All my contact information will be listed in the episode information section. Thank you for listening. Please consider subscribing to Ontario Cold Cases, the podcast, Patreon, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or Amazon Music.